Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, July 2nd. Looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. These bulls don't give up, do they? NQ misses the all-time high by 14 points. Now, their overnight all-time high is 100 points above that. ES misses getting the all-time high by about 16 handles, and then their overnight all-time high is right above that. Good range today. We go out with nice extension here with a price probe, a double distribution day for ES and NQ and SPY. Righty goes out with an inside day, a 10 wide POC, and they still held yesterday's downside trend day. Now, even with this move today, you realize what we're doing, right? Balance rules, my friend, on the daily. Okay? We are close to a balance high on the daily. I said I was using the all-time high in ES and the 17th low. In NQ, we're using the all-time high and the 24th low. Now, I'm not using the overnight all-time highs, just the regular trading hour. So, what's going to be interesting tomorrow and or Friday, do we get through, right? Right now, we're at basically stage one of balance rules. We're close to a balance high. We'll see if we're going to get a follow through to stretch it tomorrow and or blow through it. The one continuing problem, huge problem, is volume. Our volume right now is still only at 35.5 million. Again, I don't know if it'll be in the top 10 lightest. We have to do under 38.3 million with the after hours. But regardless, it's horrible. ES failed at an attempt at a trend day up 3 times today before it finally got going. So it held the trend day for the 25th time out of 80 attempts so far this year. It's still below last year's average. I mean, that's 31.3% of the time. Last year we held trend days up 34.3. So about 3 points lower right now halfway through the year. Had a decent day. NQ was a little confusing early, but it turned out to be a good day. Let me see. I want to go over. So I keep these in ones because it's just so much easier for me to see where value is and the POC and the single prints. Now, we do end up with overlapping a higher value in NQ. It was higher at one point, totally higher, but because we stretched out, it went back to overlapping a higher. However, that's going to be more important for tomorrow because now if we open anywhere above I's high in ES, you'll be starting with higher value, and the same with NQ. If we open above inside of I's single prints. Okay? So in A period today, I took a short against the overnight high. It paid me. But I took a short against it. Then, when it finally, because it backed off a bit. Then it got, now remember, they went out with a price probe yesterday to the upside NQ, right? But we opened all the way down here. So that was rejected. So when it went back up, I said to the room, this is a good risk-reward short the first time against value high, the base of the price probe from yesterday and the overnight high. And I got paid. Once it gets above it, then I said, well, now we have to see, just because there weren't buyers there early this morning doesn't mean they can't get acceptance above it. Now, we went back and forth through it, A and B, but obviously we got accepted. Look at C period. C period came down, never touched it. Look at the afternoon pullback, which I nailed that. Missed the low of that by, I think, a point or 2 points. I bought it at 67, I think, or 68. So after that short in A, then I started taking longs in A period. Kind of with the ebb and flow. Once they got the overnight high, they got value to overlap on a higher and trying to stay above the base of the price probe. But they did keep coming back below it. Wasn't the easiest. Then in B period, same thing. Was an inside bar. Basically doing ebb and flow longs. C period. We popped the top. I didn't get that, but I did get longs on, again, some ebb and flow long. And I actually took a short afterwards in C. I didn't think we'd hold trend. Now they did initially. I took that off for a loss, and then we finally filled them. Then in D period, again, they filled the singles, came in, took a long, because they were still one-time framing up. And then when D went back up, I shorted it because I'm like, well, they filled the single prints. They're going to really have to prove they want to go trend again. So that short and D worked. But then the market started going right back up again. E period went. I thought, wow, they're going to try again. But no, they came back in. Then we got a nice pullback in F. I was like, this is a really nice afternoon pullback. At this point, it was at yesterday, above, right around yesterday's high, above the overnight high, and above the base of the price probe. And more importantly for me, it was away from POC. Figured we'd at least go back there. So that was a very nice afternoon pullback long. And then again, I took a couple of small longs in J and K period, both with the ebb and flow and both with the single prints, against the single prints. I didn't do anything in L or M. I was a little surprised after F pulled back like that. I'm not surprised H ate away at the sell tail in E, but I was certainly surprised we just ramped it up. I knew we had shook out some weak longs with that pullback in F, but I really didn't know we were going to go back that strong and go trend up and go out with a really nice price probe here in M period. So it remains to be seen if we get these all-time highs tomorrow. Remember, it's only half a trading day, and then you have the Fed minutes at 2 after the market closes, and Friday morning you have the non-farm payroll. So today's high is 69.75. Price probe is 60. The single print started 51.25 and get filled at 48.50, one set. The afternoon pullback is 30.25, and today's low is 15. What's more impressive than anything for me is how we've held the lower distribution from June 17th still. Right? Now look at this. The overnight got into it, but that doesn't fill them. So it's amazing how that has held. And that's why I'm using that day as my balance low. In SPY, our high today is 548.98. So they're getting close to their all-time high. And then they have an overnight all-time high. Their price probe is 548.08. In fact, the volume POC in SPY is right above the price probe they raised it to. Single prints, 547.23 to 546.92. Afternoon pullback, 545.12. And today's low of 543.65. And now on the chart, so remember, ES took out last week's low. SPY did not. So with a day and a half to go, if this rally continues and we take out last week's high, there's a potential for an outside week up for the ES. Not for SPY, because SPY never took out last week's low. Okay? So again, even though it's balanced right now in the weekly, the bulls are still pretty strong, and obviously the monthly is very healthy. And the daily, even though it was a nice push up today, guess what? Nothing's changed. Look at that. Still balanced, my friends. Which way are we going to come out of it? I already see the volume at 39.6 million, so we are not in the lightest volume. But again, it's horrendous. Our average volume now before today is 65.9 million. It will be going down even lower after today's action. Anyway, we had a bunch of people join the room recently. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.